Greetings, gamers and polymorphous objects. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video that's more relevant now, but it will stay relevant later. And this particular video is how to optimize your day one / grandmaster / whatever type of loadout you're making. So step one, you want to pick an exotic to build around or a power weapon to build around. As for me, with this loadout, I picked Star Eater Scales, but then it got disabled, so I'm hot swapping to Orpheus rigs. And this will help, because it's also part of the optimizing process. So step two, you're going to want to find your loadout that matches up with your heavy weapon. So for example, I'm using a bit of a Warmind cell build, Global Reach, and Warmind's Decree. So I'm running Truth Teller, which is void, Deathbringer, which is void, and they both trigger Warmind cells along with 7 Seraph Carbine to trigger even more Warmind cells. Now, if I'm in a closer range environment, then I can swap to Extraordinary Rendition, which is where testing would come in. Now, I'm going to go into an environment that I think is similar to Vogue, like, I don't know, for example, the Nightfall this week. Pretty similar environment to Vogue distance-wise. So I did that. I went in with my 7 Seraph Carbine, my Truth Teller, and my Deathbringer, and sure enough, there were some places where I was up way too close for my 7 Seraph Carbine. But the extra reach it did provide me, and the anti-barrier was so useful that if those things show up in Bug, I will know this is a good choice. After you've optimized your loadout with Blinding Nades GL and power weapon that was recently given a catalyst, so it's literally broken right now, you're going to want to go and work on your armor mods. Now, firstly, right now, if you're watching this video in the near future, you should be using Breach and Clear. If you are not using Breach and Clear, you are cringe, and it's literally a free divinity for your team. Naturally, pairing Blast Radius with Breach and Clear makes sense, but you don't have to do that. I'm just doing that because I'm running a Charge with Light mod. Now currently, this Charge with Light is not hooked up to anything, and that's because I just swapped my boots, as you can see. So the thing that I would want to do now is go make these Arc, or go make these Void, which is going to hurt my bank account, because, you know, I don't have infinite Ascendant shards, but I'm probably going to end up doing that, because these are the best pair of Orpheus rigs that I have. I've tested my other pairs, and they don't slot into my stats quite as well. So I'm probably going to end up making these Void, putting Protective Light on to modify my survivability, make it a lot better, and then put on my Scavenger of choice, which for this is going to be Rocket Launcher Scavenger, and then I'm going to move up one of my chest piece. Now, for the chest piece, you're going to want to take into consideration what type of enemies you're going to be fighting. Are you going to be fighting enemies at a distance, like Sniper Hobo Goblins? Are you going to be fighting things that deal arc damage, like the Vex that leave a pool of arc on the ground? Are you going to be fighting things that melee you, like a giant Minotaur that for some reason just walks up to you and stomps on your face? Are you going to be fighting a Minotaur that stays back and uses a slap rifle, in which case you're going to want Concussive Dampener? These mods are extremely helpful for day one and low light situations because they prevent you from getting one-tapped by specific things. Sniper damage resistance specifically is extremely useful because if there is solar burn, which there won't be for the raid, I hope, but if there is solar burn in, for example, a Nightfall, and there's snipers, which are usually solar for some reason, because Bungie finds it really fun to make solar snipers in the game, you will get slapped really hard by a sniper one-shotting you. So just putting on sniper damage resistance, slapping on whatever element the sniper is, and you're good to go. If you are up close and you need melee damage resistance, then you've got the similar thing. You can go melee damage resistance, and you can pair that with Concussive Dampener on a second Gauntlet to protect against more close-range threats. Elemental damage resistances are usually less useful, but I'm using this one to trigger Powerful Friends, which will give me plus 20 mobility, which is useful for my build because I want to be dodging a lot and going invis a lot. Again, to increase my survivability. Now, up here, gauntlets can change a lot. Right now, I'm running Warmind's Decree, Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, and Auto Rifle Loader because I'm running an AR. If I do hot swap to an SMG, I'm going to run Overload SMG, but I'm not going to have any room to slap a loader on. And so, that's where I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to keep Warmind's Decree, or do I want to swap off of Warmind's Decree so that I can run a loader on, for example, my GL? Or I could scrap both of those ideas and run Rocket Launcher Loader, which is probably what I will do because it is cheap AF right now in the cube. Lastly is your helmet. Your helmet is rather simple. You're going to want, I've found, an ammo finder for your special weapon and an ammo finder for your power weapon. This is because, at least in what I've found, ammo finders don't stack. Or at least they aren't as effective when they do stack. So I want to make sure that all my weapons have ammo, therefore I'm running one scavenger for each weapon. Also, on the weapon that you know you need ammo for example, your Deathbringer, you do need a scavenger for that weapon, because specifically rocket launchers, but also other weapons, if you are not running a scavenger and you pick up an ammo finder brick, it will give you a tiny piece of ammo. You will get one rocket, 20 machine gun rounds, something that is not going to be useful at all. So you need a scavenger for your power weapon or your special weapon if you need ammo for that thing from your finder bricks. You can tell if it's a finder brick or not by it will be kind of glowing, there will be a bit of a hue to it, and it will be brighter. That's the best way I can describe it. And that's it. You've just optimized your build. Naturally, your subclass, exotic, and your guns are gonna be kind of all part of one thing. That's why I'm running Void with this Decree build. But like, the better flow you get, the better it'll be. So I would suggest picking an exotic, heavy, build up from there, and then you want to optimize by putting it against Master Nightfalls, go into a solo Legend Lost sector and find out if it's good for taking out champions by yourself. Test out different mods, like with Breach and Clear and Blast Radius. Test out how useful a specific build's going to be. If you're going with an Elemental Well build, is that going to be better than a Charged with Light build? You're going to want to test all these things because you need it to be up to a certain par if you're going into day one raids or Master Nightfalls, and you need your loadout to flow with you. You need to work with your loadout against the raid, not against your loadout and against the raid. You need your loadout to complement your playstyle, which is why I have my setup. Your setup will probably not look like mine. Anyway, that's about it.